Hey, this is Jeff Arnold with 4 Spot Consulting with another 5 Minute Friday. So I went out to dinner this week with a buddy of mine, a bright guy. He runs a fairly sizable department. And we were about 2 beers in, having a pretty spirited discussion about AI. And of course, I'm rambling on, going on about all the benefits of AI, all the things it can do, how awesome it is, et cetera, et cetera. And he's pushing back a little bit. But of course, I kept going on about telling him what a time saver it is, how it could free up his time, how many hours it could give him back in his week. And then he said, it's not the time. Like, that's exactly what I'm afraid of. And I just kind of stopped and I go, what are you talking about? And he said, if all this stuff frees up my time, my boss is going to wonder what I've been up to this whole time. And I was like, I bet a lot of the people that I'm working with have that same concern, but they just don't say it. They might not even realize it, but they just don't say it. Because when people push back on AI, they always lead with the safe stuff, right? No time, no budget, security concerns, not the right quarter. But underneath of it all, I think a lot of people have the same concern my buddy does. If that makes me faster, what does it say about how I've been spending my time up until now? And so it's a real concern that I want to be able to answer here. So in a lot of organizations, I'm slammed, right? That just justifies the role, right? Being busy is the proof of work. So when AI frees up 10, 15 hours a week, this little voice goes, wait, was my job that 10, 15 hours? But no, it wasn't. And that's what I told him. I said, look, the work that AI and automation take off your plate was never the real job. Nobody got into this career to copy and paste the same email 40 times, or chase down a signature for the third time, or move data from one system to the other manually. That's not the work. That's death by a thousand cuts, something that I call digital manual labor. Work that wants you to be awake but not really aware, right? Your brain's not even engaged. So it's all those 1 and 2 minute tasks that just tear you down all week. And on Friday, you're wiped out, but you can't really point to a single meaningful thing you actually did. So when you free up that time, it doesn't disappear. It gets reinvested. It goes into the work that only a human can do, right? Having the conversation with the manager who's about to lose his best person but doesn't know it yet. The culture problem that no dashboard is ever going to catch because it doesn't show up in data. It only shows up in the hallway or at the water cooler, right? That's the job. You've just been too buried under the small stuff to get to it. So here's the trap, and this is the part that really worries me about this, is that some companies look at that reclaimed time and they see a cost to cut. Great, we saved 10 hours, let's trim headcount. And the ones doing that are going to be standing around in 18 months wondering why their retention fell off a cliff and why nobody trusts leadership anymore. You saw this with Klarna, right? They went all in, replacing people with AI on the customer service side, and then quietly walked it back because it turned out the human part was the part that mattered. Reclaimed time isn't a cost to cut, it's capacity to redeploy. So here's what I did tell my buddy. I said, the fear isn't that AI replaces you. The fear is real if you actually look at it. Is that for the first time in your career, you'd have room to do the part of the job that you came to do in the first place, what they hired you for. And that's not a threat. Technology doesn't replace people, it elevates them. So if you're an HR leader sitting across from this and thinking of this like exact feeling that what's going to happen if I free up all this time, you've been told to go deploy AI, but somewhere in the back of your mind is my buddy's question, contact me. I would love to sit down with you and go over the ways that you can work on deploying automation and AI to free up your team's time to actually do the work you hired them to do. People that get value from their job are more likely to stay in their job. And if you have them being digital robots just moving data back and forth, there's a good chance they're going to leave. So contact me today. I would love to work with you. This is what we do. We work on planning and implementing automation and AI for HR teams to help them retain their best talent. Have a great weekend and keep automating.